What's your topic?
Common misconceptions.
Kevin smells bad. Kevin smells good. You'd be surprised.
He does smell good.
He smells good. You're a good smeller, Kev. You smell good. I like you, Kev.
I really appreciate your honesty right now.
You're welcome.
It's wrong, but
What are you? You're saying Kevin smells bad?
I am saying Kevin smells bad.
I'm saying we all have days where we smell bad. That happens.
We do.
Sometimes we're stinky.
Kevin smells delightful.
I think it's a misconception that Kevin smells good.
I'm gonna go over there right now and smell.
I'm sorry.
Are you, okay, let's wait for this.
How thoroughly are you gonna smell me? I don't know if I feel comfortable with this.
Smell his belly button. Let me see what does his belly button smell like?
He's getting everywhere.
He smells good. That's a good smell, Kev.
That is good smelling, Kev.
Tim, why don't you come smell me?
Why don't you smell?
I think that's an excellent idea.
I'm
This
not
is a
doing
random.
that. I'm good.
This is his topic. We didn't plan this ahead of time. It's not like he took a bath before the show.
Yeah, I know. I'm not smelling him.
Oh man, I love
What if
this.
Kevin just comes and
was gonna
stands?
say,
There was
Kevin,
a thread on
in your
NeoGaf a
vicinity?
couple days ago that was actually about this common misconceptions in gaming.
Oh, interesting.
And one of them was that the DualShock controller came out at the end of the PS1's life cycle. When I would assume that's true, like thinking back on it.
Sure.
But it's like, that's not true. It came out pretty damn early in it. In addition to that, DualShock did not launch with Ape Escape.
Whoa.
That's a misconception for sure. I bet you 90% of the people out there thought it did.
What did it launch
you?
with?
I don't know, some other game.
Okay, I don't recall.
Yeah. But you would think, right? The Ape Escape DualShock.
That sounds about
those
right,
things
but
go
yeah, I
hand
don't
in hand.
know. Yeah. I guess, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Mr. PlayStation. I guess it's a little pre your time.
I remember when I bought
Yeah,
PS1
yeah,
late.
yeah, yeah.
I was in what?
He was
I was
still
I
making
was
Tobin spirit guides back then.
You know what? Fuck you. It was a good spirit guide.
No, the reason I bring this topic up is just because there's obviously I've been watching a lot of documentaries about nutrition lately, and one of them
Obviously.
one was That Sugar Film and another movie called Sugarland and Fed Up. So these are great documentaries that you can check out. I think all of them are on Netflix still. But it deals with a big common misconception that like dietary fat is bad for you, and that there's a conspiracy based around that a lot of people have actually proven is true. And that, I think in the late 50s, the sugar lobby paid a lot of scientists to basically falsely report that dietary fat and cholesterol are bad for you, which basically demonized dietary fat, which means that it led to the low-fat revolution, which means that when you take, and the theory being, if you take fat out of food, it tastes like shit. So what do you have to put in it to make it taste good? Sugar, right? And so that's where you get all of these low fat notices. And like, you guys have probably heard it 1,000 times. Like, it's been drilled into your head, low fat is healthy, low fat is healthy. When in reality, it's now being disproven that it is not. But that is a...
Snackwells. Remember Snackwells?
Snackwells.
90s.
Love Snackwells, right?
Green
But
box.
these are all good for you. Like, these things, you're told these are all good for you, right? And in reality, you turn it over and it's just, all it is sugar. And it's just totally terrible for you. And there's lots of new studies being linked to like sugar being the #1 cause of like death in America because it's causing obesity, it's causing diabetes, it's causing all these things, heart disease, things like that. So just those things blow my mind. And in that, I started, when you start reading a little bit more about that, you start reading things like that you just don't even think about. Like the #1 thing that always blows my mind is like I'll ask you guys this: corn, vegetable or grain?
Vegetable.
I would have said vegetable, but
Grain.
the fact that you're asking.
Corn is a grain. Like, but think about that for a second, right? Corn chip, right? You think a chip is a grain, right? Like when you eat a tortilla chip, you're like,
Yeah,
okay, that's
okay.
clearly a grain. That's a bread, right? Made of corn. But they sell it like it's a fucking vegetable. And they try to tell you it's like, they never overtly say corn is a vegetable, but when they say eat healthy, there's always a big thing of corn sitting on your plate, right?
Should I not
Yeah.
eat corn? Because I love corn.
You can eat corn, but it's the same as eating a piece of bread.
Is it really?
If you think about it,
So
right?
when I get corn at Chipotle every
I
day,
got corn today too.
Yeah. No, I mean, obviously piece of bread's refined. It's got sugar and flour. It's better for you than that. But corn, same thing. I mean, cornstarch is a derivative of corn, right? These things are all like, so these are all things that like blow your mind when you start thinking about it, right? Because corn is a grain. It is not a vegetable. It is not on the pyramid. You can't put it in the vegetable. It has to go with the breads and everything else and flours.
I don't like that one bit. I don't like that. I don't like that thought.
Oh, the pyramid totally
No,
sucks.
it's a common misconception. The pyramid sucks.
No, the common misconceptions of the pyramid is what you should abide by, which is, again,
They moved it to
another-
the prism now, right?
Is it the prism? It's just
They,
upside down.
they fucking did a whole bunch of weird ass shit.
But just shit like that, right? Like the peanut.
the peanut.
The peanut.
You brought
nut
this up
or
earlier.
bean. Right? Nut or legume.
It's a
a
lagoon.
nut.
It's a legume, right?
Yeah.
But it's
I
called a
think
fucking
it's a
peanut.
nut.
Peanut. Not a nut.
Hey man, whatever.
Cashew.
George Washington Carver found the peanut. He can call it whatever he wants to
He
call
can call it whatever he wants. But it's just fascinating to me that there are these things that we just are given as children, and we just think about these things. Like, and we never think about it again, right? You're just like, you're told this is this, and you just inherently do it.
Yeah.
And then you never question that, and then lo and behold, like, you look at like, I mean, the documentaries are fucking fascinating because. Are you guys all looking up whether or not corn's a grain?
No. I'm looking up common misconceptions to
Yeah.
like keep this going because I can't think of any right
No, that's
now.
okay if you guys
either.
can't think of any. Like I know.
I got one
What
that
is
I
it?
haven't confessed to anybody.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
This is going to be good.
This involves the one and only Kevin Coelho. This involves the internet, and this involves me being about to be a 34-year-old man who has a journalism degree. And the fact that Kevin said something, I tweeted something and I used an abbreviation. And Kevin said back, "Come on, man. Why are you abbreviating? Write it out or something."
Oh,
To which I responded, Van, THAN. I have a chance of fucking it up like you did. And immediately, people were like, "Oh, yeah, fucking burn." Right? And then some guy pops up and he's like, "Well, you just made the mistake." And I responded back. I'm like, "No, it's an if-then statement." And then he's like, "No, it's an if-then statement."
Yeah.
And I Googled it and I was like, "Holy fucking shit. I am so rusty at grammar." And I'm sitting there as like the world spirals around me. I'm like, have I always thought that it was an if-then statement, or did I learn about if-then statements and then know it for forever, never use that? And it's like, it was like one of those, like, it's usual suspects. The coffee cup falls and tumbles. And I'm like, how can I believe anything I think ever again? That I was like, because it's like the more than thing. And I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck's going on?
I'm confused.
There's two thens.
No, I know.
I thought it was an THAN statement.
Like more
and
than,
it's an
when you
if.
say more
If
than-
this, then that. Then, not than.
No, I get that, but that to me, that's the only thing that makes any logical sense. Is if this happens, then that happens. In what sense is if this, then?
It's you're 100% correct.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you that so much had happened where I'm so hung up on the correct use of then because a whole bunch of different things. At some point in my head, wires crossed. And that was the rule. This is one of those weird things that common nomenclature has you would think then, but it is than. And I just believed it sight unseen. I don't know when my brain
So
switched
it's not
tracks.
a common misconception. It's a Greg Miller misconception.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you want to phrase the thing. I mean, yeah, it's a grammar misconception that I've believed for 34 years. So it's pretty fucking common for me. Or was it? I don't know. Did I at one point know the correct thing and then let the dust settle on the memory banks and never used it again?
It's possible.
It
That
bro-
happens
it-
to me. I mean, that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Every time I try to say anything, I'm like, was that the right word? Definitely not.
Yeah.
You know, but you could also open it up to just things that you have done for a very long time that
Yeah.
you just don't, that just
If you
aren't
want to
right.
be a fucking prissy little bitch
Yeah.
about it, Tim.
Yeah, I mean, I'm perfect. So
You are
I fuck
perfect.
everything up. I
Yeah,
literally,
no,
when it comes to all that shit, like I constantly make problems, and everybody in the fucking comments is just like, "Oh, Tim, it's me and then I and then
I hate
you."
that
It's
shit.
like it's like, all right, I get it. But me and you go back and forth on this a lot because when it comes to the like Greg and I took a picture or Greg and me took a picture, there's certain times in our lives with tweets or with headlines that it looks better and sounds better the wrong way.
Yeah.
So it's like we know that it's wrong, but it feels right.
Sure.
Yep.
And that's a big part of it where I think like, especially when you talk about Twitter, like for a
feel
long
well.
time, Jesus God, Nick. For a long time I was there where I was putting periods, capitalizing, blah, blah, and it's just like, no, I just don't give a shit. You understand it's a tweet, whatever, here you fucking go. You know, like if it's a brand, I'm talking about responses, like
Yeah.
a brand tweet I'll try, but then if it's like a brand new tweet I'll try. If it is though something that I'm down to character limits and moving stuff around, but I do agree, it's always weird when it's like, yesterday was one of them where it was, we had our switches on the morning show and it was, I wanted it to be Tim, I and our switches are on the morning show. I'm like, oh, that doesn't look right at all. I'm like, Tim, me? And I'm like, that's not right. Tim, our switches and me. I'm like, you know what? We're playing with our switches on the morning show. Come hang out. You know, like, fuck off. I don't care.
So this is fun. Wikipedia does have a list of
Oh, let's go. with
Common
it. Let's
misconceptions.
common
listen-
misconceptions.
let's listen to 'em. That's
There's a whole bunch of them. Fun ones that I'm looking at here. Microwave ovens do not cook food from the inside out.
They don't? No. That I was told that as a child. I believed that.
Is
Yeah.
it true that if you stand by it, you can go sterile?
no.
It used to be though, right?
That's never been a thing.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying somebody went sterile once by it.
Twinkies have a shelf life of approximately 45 days.
Oh, they don't have
25 in their original formulation, far shorter than some people believe.
Yep. There you go.
They
So-
generally only remain on store shelves for 7 to 10 days.
That's terrifying.
So in case of like nuclear apocalypse, we're
Don't eat
screwed.
a
Yeah.
Twinkie.
Trust me,
They
at the,
did this-
at
it was
the,
a plot-
at
wasn't
the
this a plot point in?
yeah, Zombieland.
Yeah.
At the corner store, by the old office, my house. I guarantee those Twinkies are on there for longer than 10 days.
Every other thing I bought at that place was like, this is from 1980.
A standard cup of brewed coffee has more caffeine than a single shot of espresso.
That one I knew.
Oh.
That one I knew.
Now here's
because it's by volume.
So I'm getting lost in the weeds. You're telling us the true facts.
truth.
Okay. So
Yeah,
the coffee has
this
more
is
than a
the
shot of
truth.
espresso. Got
Right.
it.
So like so you always hear when people are like, oh, I shouldn't have that espresso. It's gonna keep me up all night. I'll have a cup of coffee instead.
Sure.
There's way more caffeine in a cup of coffee.
The fortune cookie, despite being associated with Chinese cuisine, was made by
Italians.
Americans.
Jewish?
the Japanese.
No shit. They were trying to
Oh.
destroy the Chinese with false fortunes.
The cookies are extremely rare in China, where they're seen as symbols of American cuisine.
Nice.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Panda Express, what up?
All right. Hold on. Let me go forward a bit. Twinkle Twinkle Little Star was not composed by Wolfgang Mozart. I would associate that with Mozart.
I never would have.
No idea.
Who did
I
it?
feel like there's a lot of common misconceptions when it comes to song lyrics.
Oh yeah.
Oh, God,
that's-
yeah,
That's
yeah,
a whole other thing.
God, what's the famous one? With the never mind. I can't.
The forbidden fruit mentioned in the book of Genesis is never identified as an apple.
Oh.
It only mentions tree and fruit.
All those years of Catholic school.
You never would have known. You never would have
There's
known.
no evidence that Jesus was born on December 25th.
I take personal offense to that.
To the
Triggered.
Yeah.
Just
Because
get
my
triggered?
birthday's on Christmas.
Are you Jesus?
And I but I like having that
becoming
to
a
share.
Jesus?
That was I told you that was another usual suspects moment. Not a common misconception, I think, but when it was like your birthday was coming up and I was always saying, and I was like, Joey Noel. Like that's why her name's Joey Noel. Is she was
Yeah.
born into like, oh my God, yeah.
Wow.
Because you keep your real last name a secret. You never use
I
it.
do. Well, it's not really that big of a
I
secret.
know. I'm just gonna joke
I'm
around.
gonna spoil it
But,
right now.
but your middle name is Noel? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, and my parents didn't realize until this year where I was like, you do know that it's like my name essentially means Merry Christmas in French. They're like, no, we had no idea.
That was the weirdest
That's
thing about
awesome. being
being in Montreal for Christmas, where it was everybody Joey Noel. I'm like, how do people know Joey Noel?
I know everyone.
We haven't even announced her yet as community manager. The entire city of Montreal is fucking celebrating.
That's hilarious.
The black belt in martial arts does not necessarily indicate expert level or mastery. It was introduced for judo in the 1880s to indicate competency of all the basic techniques of the sport.
Oh, fascinating. I didn't know that.
Unprotected sex leads to babies sometimes.
Irregardless is sometimes dismissed as not a word.
See, that's the one I was going to actually look up. I forgot which one it was, but what does that say?
Let's see.
See, everyone's always like, it's not irregardless, it's regardless. And I'm like, I think that's a real word, though. I think irregardless
So
is a
I'm going to
word.
read this whole little segment.
give me the
here.
blurb.
Non-standard slang or colloquial terms used by English speakers are sometimes alleged to not be real words, despite appearing in numerous dictionaries. Irregardless is sometimes dismissed as not a word. All words in English became accepted by being commonly used for a certain period of time.
Joey, your mom's car's outside.
Gotta go,
Thus,
guys.
there are many informal words currently regarded as incorrect in formal speech or writing, but the idea that they are not words is a misconception. Examples of words that are sometimes alleged not to be words include conversate, funnest, mentee, impactful,
Menti?
Mentee, like a mentor,
mentor,
mentee.
mentee,
Oh, that's interesting.
and thusly, all of which appear in numerous dictionaries as English words.
Fascinating.
What were those again?
Thusly, mentee,
Impactful, funnest, and conversate.
Splinter.
So, I guess that's something.
There you go. There you go.
The
Common
word crap did not originate as a back formation of British plumber Thomas Crapper's surname. I've heard that before.
I don't think I've
Where
ever
did it
heard that.
originate? I always assumed it was. The John's called the John because of John Crapper, right?
It ultimately comes from medieval Latin crappa, meaning chafe.
Huh. Okay.
I don't know.
I heard another one that I got thrown at me a while back that stuck with me was the word forte is not pronounced that way. It's actually
Yes.
fort.
We're ending there
And nobody,
because that is the best answer.
and
to this
everyone's
question.
like, no, it's forte. And I'm like, it's actually pronounced fort. You can look it up. If you look it up on the dictionary under the definition of like it's someone's expertise, and you hit the pronounce button, it'll actually pronounce fort. Forte refers to the musical term loud.
Well, this is like a niche and niche that we went back on.
No, see, that's one of the, that doesn't have an actual way to say it.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing is where it was on GameScoop. I remember back in the day, we all say, "Oh, it's a niche game. It's a niche game." So we're like, it's niche. You're like, "Oh, fuck, really? Shit, fuck." And then when you eventually did the Google thing, you hit it, and it's like niche. You're like, "Fuck!" Now every time I say it, I get to the diving board edge. I'm like, "Ah, what the fuck is that?" I'm just gonna say
go
it.
niche. Let's keep it
Niche.
you know,
Nice,
classy.
nice.
Yeah,
Just a
niche.
salad.
Yeah. Biggest common misconception, of course, is that Crash Bandicoot's a good game.
fucking-
If you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Game Over Greggy show each and every week. 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing a random topic of conversation for your amusement. If you like that, head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where you can toss us a few bucks, get every episode early, get exclusive perks, including bonus episodes, and entered in to win things on the Twitch thing. But if you have no bucks to toss our way, no big deal. Head over to youtube.com/kindafunny, where we post the entire show, topic by topic, day by day, until it goes up as one big MP3 in video for your listening pleasure. Remember, Joey Noel, community
Hi.
manager.
Yes.
I don't want to hear your shit anymore. If you have something wrong, you talk to her.
Got
you
it.
come to me, you're banned. From life, I don't know. I'll call up
Delete your
Twitter.
life.
We're just joking around. We're just joking around. Don't worry. We're just joking around. Common misconception that I'm a dick when I act like a dick, but I'm not a real dick.
That is a common misconception.
Yeah,
That,
yeah.
It is scary,
Another
though.
common misconception is that you're not fucking freakishly tall. Everyone doesn't know that about you, and then
I
they
am-
meet you.
I am
and they're
very
like, wow,
tall.
you're really
I had
tall.
a moment in the airport a couple days ago where I realized that I really don't like
How
people.
tall are you, I guess?
There's like, no, you're okay, but you are the fucking max. And I think that you're also like big enough that
proportional?
Like, you're proportional, so it's like you're a mountain of a man, but
Sure.
like in every way, which is
Right.
good.
Mountain
Like I'm
pudding.
like I can buy that. So you standing next to me, I'm like, all right. My brother standing next to me, I'm like, all right. But like there was this dude that was just super tall. I'm like, stop.
When I feel,
This is
and that's the thing,
offensive.
I don't feel tall. You know what I mean? It's always interesting when people
I'm
say
right
that.
there, too.
When I when
I'm
when I
used
look
to
at it's when I look at in a reflection at me and Jen, where I'm like, fuck, I'm way taller than you. But it's like when I meet someone and I feel like they're tall, that's when I know something's up. Something's going on here.
Yeah.
You got too close to the microwave. Your dad did, I guess. His genitals got fried, then he fucked your mom.
Yeah, dick fry.
That's probably if you're taller than me, your dad has microwaved balls and then immediately fucked your mom. I hope your parents stop listening after your topic, Joey.
I hope so too.
Bye. What's up, everybody? We finally made end slates. You can click here to subscribe to youtube.com/kindafunny. You can click here to subscribe to youtube.com/kindafunnygames. You can click here to go visit our Patreon page, or you can click here to watch a best of playlist. I have 8 seconds left. So, hammer lamma ding dong, how do you like it?